You just want to replace our people with migrants.
I don't want to put my face on your crappy live stream.
Division and discord still spilling out onto our streets.
You're a traitor to your country. People like you're a disgrace.
People have believed a lot of the misinformation that's out there in the internet.
The government has promised to close asylum hotels, but their alternative plan hasn't stopped the protests.
We deport them straight away. Get rid.
This is Bicester in Oxfordshire, a historic market town with strong links to the military. The Home Secretary wants to convert a former army base here into accommodation for people seeking asylum, and it's causing concern.
We need to be safe in our own community.
Why do you feel you would be unsafe if people seeking asylum moved in?
Because obviously they're all male. Males have needs, and females are going to be quite exposed and vulnerable.
There's not enough police in the area. So,
And you say you've lived here for a long time in
I've
Bicester?
lived here for 42 years now.
I was born in this town, and being born in this town and seeing how it is now, I think it's absolutely atrocious. You know, they marry 8-year-old kids over there.
But when you say that they can marry 8-year-old kids, where are you reading this from?
Well, on the internet, you know, I've seen it. Is it in India or Pakistan that they marry kids?
I've just noticed your placard. Can you explain what it means?
It just means that the government are handing over our safety from women and children to the migrants.
So is that meant to be...
Their safety means more to them, I think, than ours do.
This demo has been supported by the leader of the local reform group, Councillor Paul Jeffries.
We are really, really worried about what's going to happen here in Bicester. I'm scared to death of the people here.
He agrees to meet us at the base to explain his objections.
This site is for 1,250 asylum seekers. They're all aged between anywhere from 18 up to about 50, 55. They're all single and they're all male. They're allowed to come and go freely as they want.
Because they're not prisoners, are they? They're people seeking asylum.
And under the ECHR, there's no restriction for them. So they can come and go wherever they want.
That's not under the ECHR though, that's under our laws, because they're not prisoners.
No, they're not prisoners, because they're asylum seekers,
The government says the accommodation would be largely self-sufficient to minimise any impact on the local community. But Councillor Jeffries argues that there will be a huge impact on the two surrounding villages.
Their cultures are different, especially Afghanistan. I served there.
Are you talking about Muslim culture specifically?
Mainly. And the thing is, I'm not anti-Muslim. Do not get me wrong with that. I'm not anti-Muslim. One of my best friends is a Muslim person. Absolutely. Now, the problem is their culture is where they want things like Sharia law, and they're brought up with a different culture.
But you must know there's no evidence to say that asylum seekers want Sharia law in this country. There's no evidence. And I'm saying to you, as somebody who's the leader of a political party, surely you have a responsibility to try and dispel some of these myths, because you know that they're not true and it is causing fear.
There is fear, and the problem with the fear is...
But are you adding to it? I mean, you're saying that they want Sharia law.
I'm just saying what's happened in other centres, in other places.
But we've got no evidence that in other centres, asylum seekers want Sharia law. What's your evidence for that?
I haven't got any evidence of that.
This former MOD site is one of 3 the government wants to use, citing a nationally important and urgent need for asylum accommodation. The Home Secretary says it'll save taxpayers money, but there are questions over how much it'll cost to set them up.
Now, there's no actual accommodation on here at the minute. It's used to house old equipment, things like army fencing and so on. So there's no barracks on there. The government would have to bring in porter cabins to house the men, and that could cost millions of pounds.
As we film, we're approached by security. The site is heavily guarded.
Okay, you're recording for Channel 4 News, okay?
That's
Right.
Are you from the MOD?
Okay, no comment.
Some residents have complained about a lack of transparency and the government's use of a special procedure to fast-track the planning application.
There are no amenities. The nearest shop's 2 miles in that direction.
Callum Miller is the local Liberal Democrat MP.
In this area, we've had real pressure on energy, on water, on sewage. And so it's a real question for local people how the MOD and the Home Office are suddenly going to turn that on for what will be more than 1,250 people.
The MP says it's not just those on the right who oppose the plans, but he pulled out of speaking at the protest because he felt it was being hijacked by outsiders.
It really worries me that people from the outside might seek to infiltrate and influence that for their own political purposes, people who are not really interested in stopping this from going ahead, but want to divide us as a community.
But if you look online, that already seems to have happened, doesn't it? There are all sorts of groups getting involved, and the debate online is quite vicious at times.
Yeah, look, I think we all know how dangerous and unpleasant the debate, especially around these issues, can be online. I'm not convinced that most people commenting there are from this area. At the demonstration today, I chose not to speak because it was clear that this was not the non-partisan environment.
And having these people here is going to cause a lot of issues.
Before the rally, organisers had asked for political allegiances to be set aside. The protest did attract a number of online activists.
Yeah, you're not the fault, these hurty words, people. I haven't swore.
For whom immigration and asylum have become a focal point.
Why is it when you have sergeants, female sergeants, right, they're always cocky?
Also there, this group from Oxford, who also oppose the idea of using the military site.
So you're actually on the same side as the guys down there who are opposed to it as well?
No, it is not a binary position. It seems to be completely the wrong way going forward to create more camps that are going to become magnets for far-right agitators.
And what about people who live locally and say they're not far right, they just have genuine concerns?
Believe me, just about every single asylum seeker I have met, all they want to do is to live in security and become productive members of society.
The government says it'll continue with its plans, but as communities on all sides feel their concerns are being ignored, the protests are also likely to continue.